My name is Staff Sergeant Aaron Johnson. I'm in the Indiana National Guard, and I'm on Team USA in the sport of grappling. I always thought that wrestling was going to be, that was it. That was the end-all, be-all. But like I said, it took me other places. Decided that there's something more out there for me than MMA and wrestling, and I decided to join the Indiana National Guard. But when I joined the National Guard in 2010, it changed my life. I mean, it did. Not that I didn't already have discipline, and not that I wasn't already a warrior, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And the National Guard helped me decide what I wanted to do with my life. Maybe the military wouldn't have been an option for me if I had gone a different route, if I had done something differently in my life. But because I stayed on that path, I eventually found, the National Guard and found that this is what I needed to do. I'm a surface maintenance technician at CSMS 1 at Southfield. I mean, there's several things that I could do in a week. A services, which would be high-level PMCSs. Being a mechanic, I'm falling in love with it. I spent most of my life playing sports and doing something exercise-related, and then jumping into having to work with my hands that I wasn't actually punching somebody with, and having to put together parts and take parts and take vehicles apart, and didn't necessarily think it was going to be something that I would be able to do. But wrestling and jiu-jitsu and MMA, there's a brotherhood. The military, there's a brotherhood. And a friend of mine that was currently in the Indiana National Guard brought to my attention that there was a combatives tournament down at Fort Benning. About a week and a half later, I was getting asked for my resume. So my resume, I try to be as modest as possible, but I figured that I probably should, put down everything I've done from the high school level up. And it was about 3 pages long. But then something else even better happened, and I got an opportunity to compete for an opportunity to be on Team USA, to be on a grappling team. And I went to North Carolina, and I won best 2 out of 3 to beat the current Team USA member. And now I'm part of Team USA, and I've never been so happy outside of my kids and my wife, about having than that moment. That moment, I felt like I finally made it. Like I finally accomplished one of those goals that I set out to do from 4 years old. With Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as one of the foundations of grappling, there would have been no better place to have it than the Rio Olympics. They weren't allowed to have exhibition sports this year in Rio. So instead of it being in the Olympics, they moved it to Belarus, in Minsk, Belarus, at the end of September, and it's going to be considered a grappling world championship, which if I'm still able to grapple at, 43, 44 years old when the next Olympics comes around, and, I'm given the opportunity. I mean, I am on Team USA, and it has to be taken away from me. I don't want to get beat. It would be bad enough for me to get beat in my own country, but I don't want to get beat outside of the United States. But, what's really important to me is being, the best at being a dad, to be the best at being a husband, and be the best at being a soldier. I mean, all the other things are great, but this is what I do. This is who I am, and, this is where I'm going to be for a while. Even after my grappling and jiu-jitsu career is over, this is what I am. I mean, this defines me. Wrestling and jiu-jitsu and MMA, they don't define me. That's just part of me. But being a soldier and being a father and being a husband, that defines me. That's what I want to be remembered as.